rocket like rocket fuel.
Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like, yeah. In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. In the field like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, I been so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold in this.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Check. Watch 54. Wild Bill.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third-year back from Florida State. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
He's checking, he's cheating. Bring up 48. 22 jet bomber. Six guys. Check 6. Wait for Omaha.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Go ahead.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
54. Hey, high 7.
Throwing, Cousins. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Credit the sack to Jonathan Hankins.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
With it is Brown. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's go now. Come on the base. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's get off the field.
Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Caught right side, Gresham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
And the Raider 1st down.
Here we go. Set. 15 on it. 15 on it. Watch it.
Off-play action. Flowers. He sets to fire deep. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Flushed out right. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 3rd and 2, Flowers. They'll find his running back here, Richard. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Check 55. 55.
This is Jalen Richard, the fourth-year man from Southern Miss. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. Flowers. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 42-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
We're scoreless after one. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Mike, 180. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Lucky distance. Babies cry all the way back home.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. Amir Abdullah. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Recon, 132 fighter. 24, check 24. Hatchet.
Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
52, Mike 52. 5.
Working out of the gun, Cousins under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. This from 54 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California.
Now 2nd and 6 at the 31-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
This is fielded at the 27. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's
looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
On 1st down, Flowers looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Escaping the pressure right. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Flowers eluding the pressure right. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And the Raiders have got him. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
First. Bravo.
Now Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's go deep, tighten up.
Play action now. Cousins. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And now Oakland ready to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And Gresham has it left side. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Flowers flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hey, foxtrot.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Intended for Stephon Diggs. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. Ooh, with a juke. Oh, and he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position. So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. A final shot before break. Flowers flushed out right. So we've reached halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And an alley to run. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. J.J. Nelson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, and the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10 at their 25-yard line. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 29-yard line.
On second down now, it's Cook. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Arden Key, the ex-LSU Tiger, there on the stop. The Vikings on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to float this one. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. And they got the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Off play action. Flowers. This one complete to Gresham. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, Flowers. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Stephen Weatherly picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Off the play fake. Flowers steps away to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Forced out to his left. He's going to run. And oh, he coughed it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 17-yard line.
Throwing on first down. Flowers. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
To throw on second down. Flowers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Touchdown, Vikings! Adam Thielen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Raiders 7.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Now Scarborough. He'll have a first down past the 40. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down.
Dalvin Cook, the ball carrier. Gary and Conley.
3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Vikings. Barely got the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. On 1st and 10, Flowers escaping the pressure right. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The first play of the second half, a big success, over 30 yards. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's taken down inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And this one is right down Broadway. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
He's coming.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Cousins, incomplete, right side to Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Play fake. Cousins. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 34. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Cousins now. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
On 1st down, Flowers eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Back to throw. Flowers. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. It got his man complete. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. With that grab, by the way, Antonio Brown now over 10,000 receiving yards in his career. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Flush to his right. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 5. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. That's on the Raiders' big money man, the free agent tackle Trent Brown. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Looking to throw. Flowers. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So the final seconds have